So for step 10, attaching the rear axles. Well, you can see we've got to grab these hubs, we've got bearings, and they're wanting you to use liquid thread lock again. And again, I'm going to do it because here, there's no reason to ever take this off, so I don't mind using the thread lock for that. So that's fine. And then we're going to attach those axles and put in the screw pins and have that all set and ready to go. So there are the screws, screw pins, ball connector nuts, ball bearings, rear wheel shafts, etc. that we need. And of course there's our hubs and our axles. So I'll set this up and we'll put it together. So let's work on the hubs right from the start here, and let's get those connectors and the screw in place just so that that's all done. Now you can see that these are two identical pieces, the B2, so it doesn't really matter which way you do this. So we're going to be able to slide that through. I'm going to grab my stick here, put a little bit of thread lock on the ends here. And grab the connector and I'll spin that on. And again, we're going to end up having to screw this on, but also use the pliers to hold it in place. So we'll do that. And there we go. So there is this side done. So on this side, it's going to be the reverse of that. We're going to stick the screw through this side and put a little bit of thread lock on here. Grab the ball connector nut. There we go. And again, grab the needle nose pliers, hold on tight onto that, and screwdriver. And there we go. So there we go. There are the hubs with the screws in place, ready to go. So now that those are done, I'm just going to put that aside again. And what are we going to do? Well, let's grab this side here. You can see that we need a bearing. So we'll put that bearing down inside the hub, just like that. And then we have the axle that's got to go in on that side. Then on this one, same thing again. We've got a bearing. Let's put that down there. And we've got one of our rear axle shafts to go inside of there. So there's that side. So let's just put those aside like that for now. I'll move that over there. And let's grab our gearbox again. So you can see that for this side, we need to grease this up. Put this in with a screw pin, and then we're going to snap on the ball connector. Well, I think what we'll do first is let's actually get that screw pin onto the bottom. So we know that this one is the one where the ball connector is facing that way. So we're going to put a screw pin in there. Slide that on to this. So we'll get that into position. Push that through. There we go. Now that that's all the way through to the end, I'll grab the screwdriver and we'll screw that in all the way. So there we go. So that is how that's going to look. So knowing that, what do we need to do? We need to grease up our drive shafts. So let's put a little bit of grease on there. Put a little bit of grease on the other side. Not going to overdo it, but I'm going to make sure there's enough. And we're going to slide that into our drive shaft. Slide this side into our drive cup. Make sure that slides in all the way. Yes, there we go. And then this is going to be moved down to here, and we're going to slide that on. Now it doesn't look like that's going to work as easy, so I'm going to try and do it this way. Actually, let's do it this way. Nope, that's not going to do it. Let's see if I can. Oh, there we go. It's on. It is easier with the finger than trying to use it with a pliers, but it's also fairly tough. You can see the marks on my fingers. But there we go. There's one side done. So we're going to do the same thing on the other. So we need to get the screw pin in. So we'll turn that around. Let's get the screw pin. Put that in at that side. Push that in. Slide that through. There we go. And let's screw this all the way in. There we go. And again, let's grease up our drive shaft. Same on the other side. Again, not overdoing it, but putting enough on. And we'll slide that into that side, slide that into there. Hold that up, move that down, and we're going to do the same thing again. Hopefully, there we go. So there is that side attached as well. Really interesting design, just the way this is done. And obviously, because of the way the wrench is, you know, the way this piece is done, using the wrench is going to mean you're going to be able to camber in the wheels, or the toe in, or camber, yeah, and then it'll just allow you to have some adjustment. So very, very cool. Cool. So step 10 is complete. So now we're going to move on to step 11, and we're going to attach the rear bulkhead.